The
You do
audio
a very
came
like
in.
Coach Z thing every episode.
Hey there, I am Stray. Great job. I do a Coach Z. I don't know. I just love Coach Z's affability. He's kind of
That's
like,
great.
if I came in a room and somebody sounded like Coach Z, I would immediately like gravitate towards that person for the rest of like that scenario.
Sure.
Because I'd feel comfortable just with the
Morgan,
presence.
Morgan, my roommate and wife, does a lot of Coach Z references, almost to the point where she reminded me that he existed. Like I kind of forgot. You know,
She unlocked like a forgotten memory in your head.
Yes, her and like her dad, and they're all like very into Homestar Runner, which is cool.
That's amazing.
But it like reminded me of all the stuff I had forgotten about.
I hope when I meet my roommate, who I kiss on the face, that I hope they are also into Homestar Runner.
Right. Because I made that the defining characteristic. I had met people. I met this one woman who's like a billionaire, but she didn't know what Homestar Runner was, and I'm like, sorry. No.
In the trash. In the trash.
Get out of here.
My girlfriend eventually will have to both love Homestar Runner and SpongeBob, and these are non-negotiable.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's a fair argument.
Real
quick before we go any further, we're here. We already have people in the chat.
Oh my gosh.
I want to pay them homage. I want to show them respect. Belbo Rocket here says, I'm at work and I can't believe it. What?
We were supposed to ignore Bell Rocket.
Oh, we're doing that now? I don't know. We did that once by accident.
We're supposed to call out. We're supposed to specifically recognize Bell Rocket, I think.
Sure. There's VIPs and then she's like a double VIP.
She yelled at us.
So, yeah. And we won't make that mistake again. She says, I'm at work and I can't fucking believe it's only 8 p.m. Yeah, well, it sure is.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you can get done soon. Leviathan Den's here. Welcome, Leviathan Den.
For some people, time moves too fast, and for other people, time moves too slow. And
for everybody, it moves too fast when you're doing stuff you like, and it moves too slow when you're doing stuff you hate.
Yeah. That's how it goes. Time flies when you're having fun. Sorry, go ahead now.
Hot damn! My favorite 8 p.m. time every Friday. Your favorite 8 p.m. time is 8 p.m. Mine too.
What?
Monday. He said Friday and he corrected himself.
Man, what if we did do a Friday show? No one would show up. Everyone's doing stuff on Fridays.
I don't know. I mean, people would probably show up. I don't know.
Maybe they would.
Can't tell you.
Maybe the people who don't go to parties.
We'd show up. Because we're partying all the time. So
we're party animals. Yeah.
Crazy Kyle's here as well. Says, hello. I had an interesting interaction with Ian today. That's the end of the story.
Yeah. He came to my house to poop in my toilet.
Oh, wow. Was he on the clock?
I don't think I'm allowed to. I don't think we should say if he was on the clock or if he wasn't.
He's going to lose his pension.
He wasn't.
Let's make him lose his pension. Xenute says, big fart. That's true. That's a good point.
I don't think we should pay any sort of attention to such rumors that Brandon's trying to spread.
Kyle pooped on the clock.
He pooped on my clock. Kyle took a poop on his clock.
Well, he was supposed to be delivering mail. He was delivering shit to Ian's toilet.
Kyle pooped on my clock. Kyle says he is allowed to take, but I wasn't sure like what the code of ethics for a mail, like if a mailman's not allowed. Because like for instance, as a banker, I like was never allowed to take money. I had like members occasionally try and throw me like a $5 bill and things like that. Be like, this is for you, and I'm just like, no, really, I can't. And they'd be like, no, go ahead and take it. So I just like sneakily include it as part of their deposit and just like put it right back in their account.
When people give you tips that you're not allowed to have, they didn't give you tips. And B, I'm sure Kyle, even though he's allowed to stop for a bathroom break, it's not at the people he's delivering the mail to. It's supposed to be like a public bathroom or something. He's not allowed to be like, hey, here's your bills. Also, Kai shit in your toilet.
But if that's not what he's allowed to do.
This is all hype. This is all a joke. This never happened. In case the USPS is watching this.
George Costanza, is that wrong? Should I not have done that? Classic. Classic.
Bubba Rocket says, I dropped my phone in that toilet once. Wow, this is a famous toilet for our viewers. A lot of things have happened.
This is a toilet that's really gotten around.
The co-host has pooped in that toilet. The mailman has pooped in that toilet. The Bell Rocket has pooped in that toilet.
This is true.
And dropped her phone in it. A lot has happened here.
Kyle is saying a lot in the chat right now, and I think it's best if we just all move past what he's saying.
Someone in my office delivers to her own house and takes a 10-minute break there every day. Okay, well that's a good way to game the system.
Yeah, I mean that's
I like it.
Yeah.
So if I want to stop and fuck Ian, I think it's fine.
That's where I was like, maybe we shouldn't read.
Oh, whoops. Okay, I won't say it out loud then. Again.
It's just an aggressive message. Kyle is being aggressive in the chat a bit right now.
I mean, as long as you're on board, there's no problems with that.
Yeah, it's as long as it's between two consenting adults.
Yep.
And I don't.
But in a world where you did, it's
in a world where I did, you know, we would be okay with it.
Ian, how have you been? How you been?
I've been good. I've been dealing with some business things over the past weekend. I just got myself a commission lined up right now that I'm working on, and that's keeping me pretty busy, but I'm also pretty happy with the compensation for this.
Yeah, we don't
commission.
have to go too deep into that, but I'm very happy for you. Pretty awesome.
That's it. That's really what the most that I think needs to be said about it. It's not like it's like a top secret thing or anything like that, or that I'm worried about copyright. I didn't sign like an NDA or anything like that. But
well, I mean,
I just figured
but also
privacy.
It's weird to like go into. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just figured
only
privacy
question I
was
have for
fine.
you: did that check clear?
As of right now, it hasn't been returned yet.
Okay.
Which, I mean, so I can't say that the check has cleared, but knowing how my credit union works and knowing that this credit union seems to be structured almost the exact same way, which is a good thing. I would say that the fact that the check hasn't been like returned yet is encouraging.
Oh yeah. Well, once that check clears, we all do a backflip and celebrate.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm saving. I'm just gonna put most of it into a certificate.
Sure.
But you know,
that's still awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thrilled.
Congrats on the work.
I was legitimately like the day before I got that email, I was just like, well, or no, like the evening I got that email, like I was beforehand, I was like, all right, well, let's start figuring out which grocery stores I can apply to, because this was
all of them. They will all hire you.
Yeah. Maybe there's a McDonald's nearby. Which ones can I ride my bike to? Because all of the cars are mostly in use, and I also just hate driving.
Sure.
But yeah, no, then this happened, and then I was like, okay. A slight, break. A slight chance to make the other plans I've been trying to work on. Maybe give them a little bit more time to flourish.
Hire artists, people. Look at the joy you're experiencing through us. Like, all you have to do is hire us for stuff, and we get to feel happiness.
We get to be little bundles of happy joy. But I mean, the nice thing was actually, like, it was like a when it rains it pours situation, because like I answered emails about that job, and then your brother-in-law actually messaged me like the next morning and is now paying me to do stuff for him.
Without going too into detail, and also if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine, but I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What's he paying you?
That I just don't feel like it's appropriate to disclose.
All right, you message me that later.
Okay. But he is paying me to edit some.
I mean,
videos.
If you accepted the job, then you're happy with it. So that's.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the thing is, it's like not a set price. Like I'm doing the first video. It's gonna be a series, but I'm doing like the first video. I'm editing videos for him. The first video is going to be one specific price, and then we're gonna sort of come back to the conversation and figure out if that was fair, if that's affordable, and just kind of.
Yeah, he sent me some of his ideas, and I'm like, I know just the guy.
Yeah, he mentioned that you were the one who recommended me, so I appreciate that. That's an extra line of income for me. So it's now I have more work, cut out for me, but it all happened kind of at once, and I'm okay with it.
It always goes that way, unfortunately.
It does, yeah. When it rains, it pours. Yeah. So I'm pretty thrilled, and this is kind of giving me an opportunity. I've been trying to make the DrawBomb channel kind of pop off more, and this is sort of this gives me a little bit more runway, I think, to focus on that before having to sort of go back to working a standard 9 to 5 and getting the life beat out of me.
Yeah. Avoid that at all costs.
I'm trying, man. That's what I'm doing.
It hurts the creativity quite a bit.
Really
Leviathan
does.
says, "Damn, man, just came right out and asked what my boy's salary is." I know it was not the way to do it. I just, here I am. I just felt extra bold because I know all the parties involved, but I guess we don't do it on
if anything, though, actually knowing all the parties involved makes me less inclined to want to answer. Not that I think you're
really?
Of course I'll tell you, but
I think he brought it to me because he was gonna ask me first, but I'm like,
absolutely,
I'm not the best editor. I know one.
No, you're a different situation, but in normal situations, since you know all parties involved, I know you very, very well, so there's a layer of trust there. That's kind of different than a standard situation, but you're knowing all the parties involved means that it's gives you the most ammo to tell you that information. You know what I mean?
I suppose that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know why my brain I've got this weird sense of
That's good. It's professional. You probably shouldn't tell me that info. It's rude of me to ask, but because I know
you got sound alerts working.
I'm allowed to ask because you're not gonna. I know you're not going to tell me to. And you're not gonna tell me to fuck off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna tell you to fuck off. I value. I take great pride in my. What's the word I'm looking for? My confidentiality. I tend to be very good at keeping secrets for the most part. I feel not in a conniving way, but just if someone says hey, can I trust you to not tell anybody about this?
When I found out you were my biological father, I was very surprised.
Oh yeah, I never told anybody. I didn't even tell you.
It was pretty impressive.
You found out through
I know.
21
coincidentally
or whatever.
We had already been working together and streaming for years, so it's wild that I found out that way.
I knew the whole time. I mean, I just didn't tell you.
Man, I see the resemblance now. I have your eyes.
Yes, you do. We have the same eyelashes. We have luxurious eyelashes.
People would kill for eyelashes.
They do. Yeah, I've frequently had someone hold a knife to me and be like, "Give me your eyelashes."
I'm like, just cut them off, bro.
Huh. These are sacred eyelashes. If I cut these off, I don't grow back the same way.
Well, chat's going wild. We have not been reading it. I'm gonna look through this. There's a lot of in talking, so I'm gonna find where they're talking to us. Let's see.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is when the chat becomes like a chat room.
It's a good thing. I like that. I
like that because then I don't have to talk to them. We can just talk amongst each other.
Yeah, exactly. They're keeping each other busy. It's a little play date.
Yeah. This is just a chance for people to get together.
Vampleb's here. Welcome.
Vampleb.
She says, "What did I miss?" Oh, so many things. You missed so much.
A lot.
Bubble Rocket says, "Ian, you have a big mouth, and if one doesn't explicitly stress the info is meant to be kept quiet, you will blab." So she feels otherwise.
Well, yeah, but
from what you've stated.
So don't, if you want me to not tell people something, tell me not to tell people something. I don't know.
Or just don't tell them to begin with.
Yeah.
And we got Jasper Boki here who says, "Ian is my papa-in-law."
Jastremski.
No, she specifically.
I know she spelled it wrong, but
spelled as Jasper Boki.
Yeah.
Ian, you're her papa-in-law.
I'm the papa-in-law. She's right though, and no, they are right about that. I'm just saying, when somebody tells me something's a secret, I keep that a secret, because generally then my rule of thumb is, oh yeah, forget about it then. They tell me.
Forget about it.
And I just forget they said it. But you gotta tell me it's a secret to unlock that cheat. So that's how it works out.
That's the cheat code.
Yeah. It's the hidden dialogue it's the hidden Starbucks menu that they don't tell you about, but for some reason people think is real.
Give me the number 8, but not the real number 8. You know, the secret number 8.
That was such an annoying meme to see on the internet, was the thing where it's like, hey, check out these hidden McDonald's menu items. And it's like, shut the fuck up. No, there aren't hidden McDonald's menu items. You're just making a bunch of poor McDonald's workers' day harder. Don't put this bullshit article out for clicks. You're just ruining somebody else's day.
If there is a secret menu, I mean, some places have that. McDonald's is not one of them.
Yeah, I don't think any fast food joint is gonna have a secret, like,
if you go to like
that sounds like a gastropub. That sounds like
well, no, there's some places that have it, but it's like very like what's the popular one in like LA or California, the burger
In-N-Out
place. In-N-Out, they have like a secret menu, but
yeah, that's like a California specific fast food
in
restaurant.
one state, so
Yeah.
it's easier to.
California is all fancy and shit, like, you know.
Yeah, those libtards over there, California.
I've seen a bunch of like people like calling it like California, and I'm like, but you're complaining about the insanely high, like, it's actually capitalist California. Like, if anything, it's almost an exemplification of capitalism if you think about, like, it's because the property values are so high. Like, communism would mean that everyone gets an equal plot of land.
Plus, these days, every time people complain about communism, they're basically talking about socialism, which is like the shit where everyone wins.
Yeah, well, they're
like, oh, libraries, communists,
and it's like,
no,
no.
We all get healthcare for free, communists. That sounds terrible. I would hate
awful.
to have I would hate to be healed for free.
People who are sick should just die, okay? Like, that's the way it is if you're free.
It's what God wanted.
If you're sick, you worry about if you can see a doctor, and for the most part, the answer is no. And that's freedom. But it's also, yeah, people are dumb. I don't know what else to, like, there's no need to delve any further into the topic other than people have a fundamental
people seem to know by now, but it's basically like the people that vote for socialism to not be a thing are the people that collect socialized healthcare.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Ayn Rand.
Fucking like Mitch McConnell fell down the stairs because he's old and dumb, and he's given the best healthcare in the world for free.
Mitch McConnell had goddamn polio and was saved thanks to socialized medicine. Like, Mitch McConnell's family was not able to afford healthcare for polio probably back when he was a young lad. And he
puts a ton of work into making sure nobody else can have that same.
If polio was still like a huge issue, people would be dying of it left and right, and Mitch McConnell would not bat an eye. Despite the fact that he had polio, and like he can walk. He's one of the lucky people who got polio and can like still walk too. And
too bad. I wish he still had it.
Yeah, I wish polio had done the job.
Yeah. Sorry, polio, that you missed out on that W that you could have had.
I'm sorry, polio, that you caught a case of Mitch McConnell. That's the real.
That's
shame.
when polio died.
Yeah. That's the real problem. Is that Mitch McConnell was just too bad of a fate to wish upon polio.
Turns out you can't give polio to a demon.
Man, that's we're spitting out some hot pasta, like some just lasagna, some scalding hot lasagna of takes right now.
I mean, the show is on Monday, so what better time to dish out some lasagna?
You're so right. That's exactly why I brought it up. Mondays. Ack. That's Kathy.
Ack Mondays. You're combining too many
Mondays.
comics. You're gonna break.
Oh, hold on. I gotta draw Ack Mondays when we're done with this bullshit title card.
You can do that. Z Newt says, but who will pay for it? You know, we can't afford.
God damn it, we can't afford
like
this
10
medicine.
warehouse full of nuclear missiles if we're trying to heal our people.
We
That's
can't
dumb.
afford to give people health care, but also we can't afford to tax Walmart for capital gains or anything like that. None of that.
Right. Like,
Damn right.
Elon Musk alone can pay for our healthcare by himself.
Jeff Bezos could.
Is that our boss right now?
He is, yeah. That's why I bring him up, is because the Bezos is watching. Big Bezos is watching you.
It's funny. I watch the occasional like streamer who's like a leftist, like kind of like person, and they're always like, the only downside is that my boss is Jeff Bezos. Like they bring that up a lot. They're like, I see the irony here.
We gotta.
But they talk a lot of shit too. So just. It's weird when you get that big that you're actively hiring people that want to see you destroyed.
Yeah, it is like you just sort of, your umbrella becomes so wide, you just catch everybody.
Yeah.
Oh shit, what did I just do? No, what'd you do? Draw pile deleted.
You're even employing your enemies.
I mean, once you go capitalist enough, everyone's your enemy except for you.
Mm-hmm. When you have more money than a country, you're going to be like against a lot of people.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Draw Based.
Yeah, we got to do our radio, our morning zoo show. I think we have all the assets for it now.
We do have all the. I do think we have the assets. I mean, I have 3 states for the I could do my puppet. Yeah. How do you feel about your puppet?
I have 2 states. I want to do more, but I have 2 so far.
Alrighty. That's pretty good. I mean, that's all I have for Brock Delmonico, aka Dr. Catastrophe.
Double Rock just said draw burp. Did I burp or did you?
I probably burped. I would not be at all surprised if I
burp
burped.
often during the show, so I'm never. I'm not even sure who did it.
Every single second of the show has left my brain the moment it's done, because it's just there's just so much to keep track of.
The show is below us, you know. We don't think this is.
I don't think about it.
This show is
no work goes into
a scam.
Yeah. I don't know why people give us money for it, but
we're just trying to collect people's money. It's a ripoff. That's the plan.
Pretty soon we're gonna become lifestyle coaches and start just fully becoming a cult. That's my plan. I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. Actually, I would love to be the head of a cult.
Hell yeah!
You get to wear a cool cloak. You get to drink Kool-Aid. I love both those things.
I love the Kool-Aid. The Kool-Aid's my favorite.
Jaster Boki says it was definitely Ian who burped. I recognize Brandon's burps from a mile away. Excuse you. She just outed you.
I'm being outed left and right on today's episode, which is what is gonna happen when you're a public figure. And I think when you have 3 people in the chat, you count as a public figure. When you voice acted in 2 movies, you are a public figure. Do we count Dr. Catastrophe as a movie? It's like a TV movie. It's not like a feature length.
Why?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is, right?
Feature length
is
90 minutes. Dr. Catastrophe ended up being about 54 minutes, I want to say.
Yeesh. I guess I don't know. Maybe.
I
think
I'm okay with it being 54 minutes because, we didn't want to overstay our welcome with that one.
Yeah. That's fine. That's plenty.
Yeah. I don't cry myself to sleep every night thinking about how we could have found an additional 26 minutes of footage. God damn it.
It's long enough.
It's long enough. It's fine. No one watched Two Dicks on the Beat all the way through except for us.
Man, that one is still, as much as I love the new one, that one's still just like has a special place in my heart.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was
It
it
just
definitely
flowed like butter. Even while we were making it, I felt like good about it.
yeah. That's the price of fame, baby, says Balbo Rocket.
Right.
But yeah, I think I do. I mean, there's just gonna be no replacing the significance of Two Dicks on the Beat for us. I think because that was our first DrawBomb animation, and you know, sort of took us on this new thing we're trying.
We got some more coming in hot.
Oh, absolutely. We should actually spend one of these days working on stuff. Maybe doing like a stream of us working on stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know you.
We definitely should.
I know you. When do you move? Where is your address going to be? Tell us the exact address.
1122 Boogie Woogie Avenue.
Nice.
And that will be end of May. We're gonna start moving during May. We'll probably be there before the end of May, but we have to be out of this place by the end of May. As you may have noticed, there's normally a bed behind me, and now the mattress is still there, but the bed's gone, or that frame's gone. But that's because we're like throwing away a bunch of shit, getting out of here.
You're getting out of here.
Ian has slept back there many times, and no more.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we're throwing away Ian's bed.
Yep. And it's not because they're moving, it's because I've soiled it so deeply into the mattress that no alcohol could remove the stench.
Yeah, there's actually like, you know how like in a crime scene there's like a chalk line? There's a outline of Ian still in that bed. Just urine shaped. Or it's made out of urine, but there's just a shape of Ian.
Yeah. That's just my natural oils.
They just seep out of your skin. Your natural oils are urine?
Yeah, I was born in a swamp.
Whoa.
I am a swamp thing.
Here comes Amos!
Amos Moses was a Cajun. He lived in an alligator swamp. I used to go hunting alligator and just knock him in the head with a stomp. Louisiana law gonna get you, Amos.
Rubber go down in the rail in the bayou.
There we go. Yeah, I did knock my Cintiq. I gave it a little rap a tap on the.
Like that you did that.
Thank you. I like to think that if I had grown up in like the 50s, I'd be doing like radio plays. I'd be like, "Oh yes, it's me, the masked bandit."
Oh, we got Matty F here.
Matty F.
It's them boys.
It's them boys. That's right. Welcome, Matty F. It's so good to see you. Matt was experiencing the strangeness of life yesterday on stream, folks. If you missed it.
Oh, I didn't catch the stream.
Yeah.
What were you doing, Matty F?
I was working most of the time, so I kind of had it on in the BG, as they say in the hip circles.
Oh, life was strange, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I've heard really good things about that game, but I've never really watched or played it myself.
I've heard good things, but I also wonder if maybe it's like those things that people praised it for have become sort of more commonplace since the game came out. Maybe. I don't know. I still want to play it at some point. Chapter 1 made me feel and things. Did you play the full thing? I kind of missed the tail end of things, but did you get through like the whole like game? Is like chapter 1 the first game? Like what did you?
Life is strange, you know.
Man, life.
That's all we have to say to you.
Life sure is
Life's
strange.
bro.
Life sure is strange. There's 6 chapters, I believe. Okay, interesting. They made 6 whole games. Wow. No, I'm kidding. That sounds like a lot of chapters. You streamed for a while. That's a big game. That's a lot of choices you gotta make, bruh. I don't know what else to say. I was working. Help me here, Brandon. Jeez.
I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I don't know.
I was working. I only saw so much.
I've heard good things, and there's like what, 2 of those games now.
I think there's like 3 of them or some shit like that.
Oh my god, Life is Strange more than once?
I think he played the 3rd one first and didn't like it.
Oh.
I think that's what I remember happened. Matty F can correct us if he would like, but speaking of games, did you play any James Brandon?
Okay, so I beat Resident Evil 4, which was awesome.
Nice.
10 out of 10 in my opinion. I have no...
Did you watch that Yahtzee review I told you about?
I haven't watched it yet, but you said he wasn't a big fan, and that's okay.
He hated it.
It's weird that he hated it, because if I should watch it, I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
You had mentioned he doesn't like the side quests, but like that's such a small part of it that's like, if that's your reason for hating it, that's weird.
He hated it a lot about it, but the side quests in particular made him pretty mad.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll have to watch it, find out. It's great. It's strange to me he didn't like it.
It looked really good. I mean, if it played like, you know, how the others, if it's as smooth of an experience as the most recent Silent Hills have been.
It's as smooth. Silent Hills? What are you talking about?
What did I say? Silent Hill? I meant Resident Evil. Yeah. I wish they'd made a fucking new Silent Hill that was good. Shit.
They are. They're working on it.
Are they?
They're remaking 2.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't give a shit about that.
Oh, you really?
No, I don't.
We're talking about a remake right now.
I know. The thing is, I actually wasn't super thrilled about playing a Resident Evil 4 remake. I mean, I'm not necessarily...
You loved, like, 2, though.
I did, but I also never played the original 2.
Oh my god. What's wrong with you?
What? I'm just... That's my honest thoughts, is like when they were like, it's a Resident Evil 4 remake.
The remakes have been like... like better than the originals. They're built from the ground up. They're not just like...
I know, but also as...
Money grab.
As a person
like, better than the original.
I've played Resident Evil 4 so recently, and I had also just edited footage of you playing it, which took almost longer than playing through the game in actuality. But like I'd played through it also very recently as well, and like I still had a great time with the game, and so like when they announced the remake, I was like, I just played it, and I thought it was pretty fun.
I mean, I just played it in VR and I still loved it.
I know, but it just didn't make me super excited. And when I think about a remake of Silent Hill 2, I just, number one, I think about how recent Silent Hill games have been not so great and have missed the point of like like what's made Silent Hill 2 sort of compelling, or other Silent Hills in general compelling. Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time seeing this remake of Silent Hill 2 competing with the original Silent Hill 2. And that's as a person who can appreciate it despite all of its like retro
I never played the original except for when you were like sitting over my shoulder being like, "Are you having fun?"
I know, yeah.
Do you like it?
Did you go in that? You should go in that diner right there if you want to have a good time.
You're not even playing it right. No, you weren't like that. But besides that, I haven't even played any Silent Hill, so I'm down for it because I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe like this is a good way for me to experience this game that I'm like not patient enough to play something that's outdated. You know,
I was fortunate enough to play Silent Hill 2 when it was fresh enough that you know, its age wasn't apparent yet. And so
personally, you know, though, like when so when they do like a remaster, couldn't give 2 shits. Yeah. But when they do like a remake, like from the ground up,
I'm rebuild,
excited no matter what. Like even if it's something I played a lot, like I want to play that. I haven't played it yet because I don't want to pay full price. But like Dead Space, the remake, like that sounds awesome. I can't wait to play it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I've heard
once it's the right price.
I've heard conflicting opinions about the Dead Space remake. I've heard mostly good things. I've heard good things mostly.
What are the bad things?
Just the one person was saying that they just didn't feel like it felt like it was worth it. Like it was like
okay, so sure. So I'm not gonna pay for it full price. So.
Exactly, they're like $70 to play a game that is still good in its original version, and like, you know, is
right.
an alternate. But like, you know, there's side quests in the new one apparently. I hear the voice acting is either better or worse, but like they did voice act Isaac in this new one, which is interesting. They changed the way Isaac
I'm gonna wait
looks.
till it's cheap and then I'll play it.
Yeah. And I hope that the new Dead Space means that maybe they'll continue the series, but I am still pissed at EA for just like completely fucking over Dead Space as a series in the first place. And you know, it's like when they brought back Arrested Development, like it just didn't have the same magic. So I feel like that window for the Dead Space magic is closed, you know? So like, you know, the remake happened. Maybe they'll bring the series back, but when the series comes back, like, am I still gonna be like, yeah, that's, you know, like I feel like
they'd have to remake all 3 if they're gonna bring it back, right? Because like
probably, yeah. And like it's sort of like if they made Half-Life 3 now, would you be as psyched if like Half-Life 3 had come out like 10 years ago when it was supposed to? I don't know. Or Half-Life 2 Chapter 3.
That's not the best example.
I know, but this
is because
this is a different scenario now. I'm just sort of, this is me extrapolating into like I had this thought.
The only reason I say Dead Space is or Half-Life is a bad one because it's like that's become a meme, you know, like it's not even a normal thing now. So it's hard to use that as an example. But I get what you're saying.
I mean, both are. I would have considered dead series, and I would still consider Half-Life a pretty much. I mean, I guess Half-Life Alyx is kind of like a breath, like it's like sort of like the CPR pump that maybe gets the breath, like the lungs actually pumping air, and you got to like still breathe life into the dying person, like you've hit that 20% of like a chance of saving the person. I don't know. Anyways, Dead Space was dead game for a very long time. It might be coming back. That'd be cool. I don't know if it's going to relive the magic of the original. And now I just have I wonder, what would your reaction to a Half-Life? I mean, I guess I would probably lose my shit if it was like confirmed Half-Life 3 definitely for real.
I'd be excited.
Like, I'd be thrilled.
Every game they make doesn't mean you have to buy it.
No,
so when they make something, I'm like, cool. And then I'll decide if I want to play it or not.
Oh yeah.
So like remaking things is awesome because I'm like Dead Space, for example, that's the one I brought up where I'm like,
yeah. That's my reaction.
Awesome. I can't wait to play it when I can buy it for $10 in 5 years. You know?
And like I'm not mad that they made a Dead Space remake. My reaction is just like, okay, cool. I'll play it maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play
that's
it.
where I'm at too, but I'm just like, I love remakes. They're great because take these things that I loved and make them like even better.
Yeah, make them better, or just make them so that they can still be because like video games and movies both have this, but like more specifically video games have this, like movies do to an extent, like special effects, but like, you know, you can still watch older movies and maybe like Modern Times by Charlie Chaplin I think still holds up as a movie. Maybe better than like Nosferatu, which I've seen, and you know, is also a silent movie, but its preservation is also a little bit more janky, you know, because of the whole backstory. But anyways, the point is, cinema does have movies that show their age, and maybe that dates them, and it makes it harder to get into like some films that are maybe considered touchstone movies or like pivotal moments in cinematic history. But like with video games, it's like so much more like time gated almost. It's like, you know, you can play Half-Life 1, but after a certain point, Half-Life 1 I think still plays great and is a good game. But like there are some games that are considered like pinnacle games, but like if you go back and play them, they're just like trash. Like they're bad.
That's the thing. I think there's a lot to be said about that because some people in the chat are also saying like, if I love the original, like sometimes the remakes come out worse. And yes, that's true.
And that's like my thoughts on what'll happen with Silent Hill too. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
So that no. I'm interested to hear that. And honestly, like, I suppose that's a real thing to be worried about. But I guess Resident Evil has been like killing it.
Yeah.
And all the remakes have been great, so I'm not even like worried when they announce they're remaking something. I'm like, dope. And Dead Space looked really good. I from what I understand, I don't think it's worse than the original. So it's just kind of like another fun way to replay it. And yeah, if something comes out bad as a remake, then yeah, screw that. I'm not gonna play it. But if it comes out good, then cool. You know, it's updated.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
fun. There's so many things, especially in like early 3D. Dead Space isn't really there. There's a lot of Half-Life that was pretty good. I think like anything like beyond PlayStation 1 doesn't need a remake. Like N64, PlayStation 1, GameCube, that era of 3D where they're still like figuring it out. Sure, they could remake all that stuff and it'd be fun. But like anything after that is like still very playable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're like Silent Hill 2 is very playable, but it is a game that I would argue would benefit from a remake, but it's not necessarily a game. Like I could see, like there are aspects about Silent Hill 2 where it would benefit from having those modern sort of the modern knowledge of game design implemented into it, but it's also a game where I don't have enough faith for many teams or any teams almost to like be able to recapture what would make what makes Silent Hill 2 good or special. I don't know. There's like Silent Hill
like
1
scene for scene.
Yeah, but like Silent Hill 1 and 2 especially are weird because part of the scariness of them was also almost because of the technical limitations, like because like Silent Hill 1, like the textures were so blurry and like dreamlike. Everything felt so dreamlike because like you couldn't see very far, so the draw distance had to be so short, which is why the whole like lore of the town being shrouded in fog was made in the first place, was because they couldn't have the draw distance be so far. But like then you would find like a monster in like the fog, and like even if you got a clearer view of the monster, like the texture on it would be all like you still didn't quite know what you were looking at. Like it was like you were looking at something that was like concrete but indefinable at the same time, which gave you like this weird feeling in your tummy, and you know you were kind of like, oh.
I think it's why if you're familiar with like a lot of like people on a lot of indie game makers, there's like D-makes and there's people making like horror games that are extra like, I forget what the one popular creator is called. I follow him on some stuff, but he's making like nonstop horror games where it's just like it looks like PlayStation 1 graphics and there's like monsters coming at you and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's perfect for that.
Oh, probably, I know who you're talking about. Puppet Combo, is that the guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Puppet Combo's great.
Check him out. Makes great stuff. I think, and I've talked about this a lot. Matty F mentioned, yeah, it's almost like we reached a technological plateau where a lot of stuff is playable. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
it's about tightness of controls. Like PlayStation 1, they were still figuring out 3D. N64, they were still figuring out 3D. It's why Super Nintendo is still, and Nintendo is super still playable, because 2D they had it like locked down at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
3D was like they were still figuring it out, so like it gets sketchy for a while, but once you get to like PlayStation 2, once again, it's all playable forever, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it'll get prettier, but it's still like functional. So I think that's a thing.
Yeah, but I just so it'll just be interesting to see how the Silent Hill 2 remake turns out. I've also heard mixed opinions on sort of that creative team's previous games, which were like The Medium and I think Layers of Fear, I think were their other games. I've heard people say they both liked those games and didn't like those games. So, you know, it's sort of if it was a team that was maybe had a more consistently sort of rated output, maybe I'd have more faith as well.
Okay, so your concern with that isn't about remakes, it's about
it's both.
Just,
I mean, everything I said before is equally applicable, but I mean also just knowing knowing the team behind it too, or rather I guess not knowing. I can't say I've actually I have Layers of Fear 1 and 2 from like free Unreal giveaways, I think. Possibly
Do you have any
also
examples of, not, this isn't me proving you're like trying to like counteract what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying, but do you have any examples? Because I'm trying to think of some of like failed remakes where it was like they tried to remake a game and it came out shitty. Because I've been pretty like I've enjoyed most games where they rebuild them from the ground up. It like comes out pretty good. At least the ones I've played.
You know what? I don't have a list off the top of my head of game remakes, but I'm gonna go to the Wikipedia page right now and let's just go through a list and see what kind of game remakes. Oh my God, is this thing not rated in chronological? Hold on, can I? Yes, I can in fact sort these. Okay.
Also, chat, if you have any remakes that you thought sucked, I would love to hear. Not like I don't believe that they exist. I'm just trying to think of some examples and I'm having trouble.
Yeah,
racking my brain for them. Because I've really been impressed by a lot of. I've seen a lot of reboots, or not reboots, remasters that are just like disappointing or lame. But most of the like remakes that are like rebuilt from the ground up that I've played are pretty like. They give me what I'm looking for, you know.
I mean, I think in general, I wasn't looking for. Like when I talk about these remakes and my like apathy, like I would describe my reaction to them as apathy more than anything.
Fair enough, yeah.
Like it's not like I'm actively like, oh, this will be bad, this will be good. I like genuinely can't bring myself to like care. I'm like, okay, cool.
Example I think about where it wasn't like super needed, but I still enjoyed it was like I played a couple years ago Shadow of the Colossus, which is like probably my most played PlayStation 2 game. I probably beat it like 15 times.
That one was cool. I do remember seeing that.
The original's still beautiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's not really needed.
The new one's gorgeous,
but
though.
The new
Holy
one's,
shit.
It's just take a thing I love and make it prettier. Like sure, I'll pay $50 for that because it's just like something I love and I'd love to see it. You know, I don't know. It seems like a reason for me to play something. Same thing with like Resident Evil 4. Like the first one's still very fun, but it's it looks prettier and I get to experience it in a new way. I'm down.
But when they announced the remake, I was kind of apathetic. I was like, eh. Cause like the thing is, cause as much as like the remake of 2 and 3 have been super solid games, have been great. They aren't too far removed from the actual gameplay of Resident Evil 4. I mean, sure, they're more responsive and tight, and you can actually like move when you're aiming and you can sidestep and things like that. Sure, those are huge, but like aside from being able to move when you're aiming and like sidestepping and maybe like cooler things happen when you shoot people in the legs and the arms and things like that. The game the game isn't too functionally, like the remake of Resident Evil 2 and 3 is so different from what 2 and 3 actually played like. Like you had these fixed camera angles and the tank controls and like you were pivoting on a dime and then moving forward and backwards and like working within like this like it was almost like playing a point and click adventure game with a controller. Is like what they were sort of going for, but like the gameplay of Resident Evil 2 and 3 was so functionally different from the original, whereas like the gameplay of Resident Evil 4, the remake, isn't entirely functionally different from Resident Evil 4, the original. In fact, Resident Evil 4 is why we have that game, those game mechanics in the first place. Like, they invented it, they created it. So when I think about the remake of Resident Evil 4, it's like it's cool, it's there. When I play it, it will be like playing a whole new game, but it's also going to be playing a game that's hitting the same beats that is also still very mechanically similar in a lot of ways to 4.
I see where you're coming from then. For me though, I don't know. I guess. Well, I do love a game, like graphics aren't everything by any means.
Yeah.
I love a lot of indie games right now that are just like pixel 8-bit stuff. That's fine. But when they take something I love and then put millions of dollars into it to make it like even more beautiful, like hell yeah, I'm down. Like even if it's not that different from the original, just for like fan fan pleasing stuff, I'm in. Like I guess that maybe is what I'm actually there for now that you like break it down like that.
Maybe
like,
yeah.
Just for the fan pleasing stuff, like I'm in just because
you want to see the
I played Resident Evil 4 like 12 times as a kid, like back to back, and loved it so much. So I'm like, okay, so I get to play this game I love so much, but in a different way. Cool, I'm in.
When you play the remakes, they do almost have a sense of meta commentary to the original games, because you're watching a newer team take this, sort of, again, cultural touchstone in a lot of ways. I mean, I don't think people would say that Resident Evil 4 is a cultural touchstone like the Godfather series is, but it's a pretty, I mean, in the microcosm or the macrocosm of the video game sphere,
it's a big one. It's
a huge one. It's enormous. It's one of the most pivotal
almost
games.
The comment I was about to make. Like, if they made remakes of a lot of games that I loved in the past, I wouldn't give a shit. Like, they were like, oh, we're making Assassin's Creed 2 again. I'd be like,
right. Assassin's Creed 2 plays great. It's fine.
But if you took like a few of the games that are like the biggest games in my like I've played video games for a long time, and if you're gonna take like a few of the games that are like my favorites of all time and remake them, I'm probably gonna give you my money.
How excited are you about Half-Life Source? Or Half-Life Black Mesa? Black Mesa Source, is that, you know that one?
Yeah, I do. So I never really played. I don't think I've ever played the original the whole way through, honestly, in my life. I've played it a number of times, but I never beat it.
People usually stop at Zen.
It always feels like kind of like a separate thing. I know the concept, but it feels like honestly, I got into Half-Life with the orange box, so I got into it with 2.
So like, Half-Life Black Mesa Source is like basically a ground up remake to the original Half-Life, the same way that Resident Evil 4 is to...
But that game, Half-Life 1, is not one of those games that is like as important to me as some other things. It's like, Resident Evil 4 got remade. That's one of the games I replayed the most as a kid. Shadow of the Colossus got remade. That's one I played a million times as a kid.
Right.
If in like 10 years from now they remake like the Portal series, I'll probably buy that. Because once again, I'm just naming the series that are like
actually okay. What
the
would
things
be,
that I became obsessed with?
What would be some wacky games that you'd like to see get the rebuild treatment?
Yeah. So like, are we saying like jumping into the future from now?
No, just like hypothetical. Like for instance, if I had to name like a crazy game out of left field that to get just the ground up rebuild treatment, I'd love to see Castlevania 64 get the ground up rebuild treatment. I think that game would be super cool to see rebuilt on a modern engine and not suck. Not that I'm saying Castlevania 64 sucks. I haven't played enough to. I think people think it sucks. I'm not sure.
They've tried it a few times, but a modern. I'm trying to think of like PlayStation 1 games that I think are kind of janky now that I liked a lot. Maybe like if they remade like, and they've tried this a few times, but like a new Twisted Metal or a new Jet Moto would be cool, because those always felt like they're impossible to go back to. The controls.
Yeah, very fair.
What else that I played a lot of with PlayStation 1?
Ape Escape. I'd love to see a modern Ape Escape.
That'd be fun.
I want to see them. I want to see them make Ape Escape like a new Ape Escape, but the new Ape Escape has an even newer button that isn't on controllers yet. So you gotta buy a new controller for Ape Escape remake. It's like got a third analog stick.
It's on the back of the controller.
Oh shit, really that would be amazing. How pissed must people have been. I mean, I remember when I got fucking Donkey Kong 64, and they first of all, remake a Donkey Kong 64 would be cool. But I remember when I got Donkey Kong 64 and I put the game in, and it's like, you need the expansion pack for your Nintendo 64, and I'm like, what the fuck? Do I gotta buy like a whole other thing to play this game I just wanted to get for like months and months? And then I realized that they included the expansion pack in the box, but like I have to assume that they didn't. I have to assume they had versions that didn't, or like there were other games that would eventually be like expansion pack detected, doing other things, and it's like what?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of from your previous things, like remakes I'd want to see.
Yeah,
hard to say. I feel like a lot of them, they seem to have their finger on the pulse because they've remade a lot of the games that have been like my as a kid, just like I'm obsessed with this game. Like Resident Evil 4 was one, Shadow of the Colossus was another, and they've both been rebuilt.
I would love to see a new Katamari. They are officially bringing back Katamari 2 to PC. They're doing a remaster for PC for the second Katamari, which is my favorite. So I'm fucking thrilled. I'll be able to play my favorite game again. I'll probably stream the shit out of that. I'll probably stream the shit out of me trying to get 1,000,000 roses. That'll be a hell of a stream. That'll be a subathon. I'll do a subathon someday of me trying to get all the roses in the final mission. But I can only hope that means that maybe we'll see some new Katamaris. I'd love to see. I'd love to see a modern, you know, with like better physics, maybe crazier physics. Some new Katamari shit would be cool, using voxels or some shit like that. They could probably make a proc gen Katamari game, like procedurally generated worlds to roll up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. Hell yeah. Zenut says, Theo. The only reason Theo's hanging out with me is because Morgan's not here. She's normally here during the DrawBomb stream. She's gone right now, so Theo's.
That's why we got his Just from Boasty in the
attention.
Chat.
Yeah, exactly. She's dog sitting. She's hanging out with other animals, but she doesn't like them as much as you, I promise.
Theo's getting jealous when you talk like that.
Did they ever remaster Metal Gear Solid 1? No, but that would be a great one. I would love that.
They sort of did, actually. They did for the game. They did for the GameCube. They called it Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a remake.
Oh yeah, yeah. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes was a GameCube only remake / rebuild of like basically doing the same shit we're talking about now, but like it happened 15 years ago with the original Metal Gear Solid for the GameCube, which is now also a dated console. So it's like the remake of the game is dated. Oh my god.
Belbo Rocket says Half-Life 2 aged like shit. I don't think
Half-Life
so.
2. Half-Life 2.
You think so?
Half-Life 2 is fine. That's how I think. Yeah. I think Half-Life 2 aged where it's fine. But like it's not
the
great.
fact that they're like so obsessed with like, look at the physics. Like it's like if you go to a movie that required you to wear 3D glasses to enjoy it, and you're like,
absolutely.
Like, why do they keep like doing like a paddle ball at the screen the whole movie? Like, what are they doing? Like, yeah, it's that.
That's a Harvey Birdman reference.
Oh, did they do that? Didn't they make fun of that?
In Harvey Birdman, they have Phil Ken-Sebin go to a 3D movie, and there's a guy talking, and he starts paddleballing at the screen, and Phil's like, "Oh my god!"
Okay.
And just the paddleball is so specific. I believe it.
I've seen movies that do the paddleball. I think like
that's so stupid.
Like Aliens versus Monsters or whatever that movie is called.
Oh my god, really?
It's like a paddleball coming at the screen.
That's like when the biopics do all the fucking tropes from Walk Hard, you know? It's like, oh my god, you guys have some self-awareness.
Leviathan Den says, did you get rated on your stream last night?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Not as far as I know. If I did not see it.
Let's see, what else? Jasper Boki says the boy has arrived. Yeah, but he just left.
Here comes the boy. Hello,
I have to remove all the hair from
welcome. Here he is. He is here.
Welcome. All right. I feel like for your character, we gotta scoot him.
Well, right. You know, in Mario, if you jump on a Goomba in the midair,
Goombas don't exist in midair.
Yeah, they can. They can walk off.
They walked off an edge.
They can walk off ledges.
You're like, Goombas can walk off edges.
Oh, I've seen a Goomba walk off a ledge once or twice.
You don't think a Goomba can walk off a ledge?
If you don't think a Goomba can walk off a ledge, you're operating on crazy town.
Speaking of Mario, have you seen the new movie?
No, I haven't yet.
I saw the movie.
What'd you think about it?
I enjoyed it as a Mario fan.
I heard people like it.
I think it's a fun thing to watch if you know Mario, but it's not really a good movie. There's not really a good arc. It's like, here's a bunch of Mario stuff.
So
back to back to back for 90 minutes. It's like, hey, do you know Mario Kart? Hey, do you know Mario? Hey, do you know Donkey Kong? Here it is.
So it's basically like a bunch of Mario TikToks?
It's like, yeah, it's like Mario skits smashed together. It's not a thing that could be watched if you're like one of those people they find for like the OJ trial who had never heard of OJ. You can't, if you're somebody who's never heard of Mario, you can't watch this Mario movie. You'll be like, what is this mess?
That's the safety of it, though, is that literally everybody knows. Like, you can.
That's true.
Like,
it's
you go
easier
to,
to find an OJ trial than it is to find an OJ jury than it is to find
Mario people.
Someone who doesn't know Mario.
If you had to convict Mario of a crime, you'd have a fucking hard time finding a jury of his peers. You know.
No, but it's very fun to watch as a fan of Mario. It's like they just like dish out nostalgia nonstop. All the music is like Mario music, like they like have like
I'm sure they had like a fucking 9 million person orchestra remake all of the
exactly.
Songs
they have like orchestral remakes of everything, including like the moment they're like picking out their carts to drive Mario Karts. It's like the menu for Mario Kart, not even the Mario Kart music, the menu, like they actually got the music from when you're picking your carts. Like
that's very funny.
Playing like an orchestral version of that. So that's great. They've done a lot of cool shit. It's a fun movie. I like Chris Pratt's way better than I expected. I'm not saying that like he's like awesome,
no,
but it's
I've heard people say
the trailer seemed a lot worse than what he did.
Did he talk like this or once in a while?
Yes, they played it in a few times for fun. In the very beginning, it starts with a commercial for their plumbing business, and they talk like that.
Okay.
And then as soon as it ends, they're like, "Do you think the voices?" I think it's like Charlie Day's like, "You think the voices were too much?" And he's like, "No, my cousin said it was a good idea." And then his cousin is Charles Martinet, who does actually Mario. He's like, amazing. It's gonna be great. So you like hear him say it like off the side. You're like, all right.
Well, that's cute. That's cute that they at least gave him a line. Done. Yeah. Look at that. They paid him homage and then did their own thing. Like that's all you really.
There's also a moment later on where like Mario gets like bashed on the head real hard, and like in slow motion, he's like, "Let's go," and like he says it like it sounds like his actual character, and it's like, but they kind of did it in a fun way.
Okay.
It was fun.
So they knew how to handle.
They reference all that shit a lot.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
That's and like when he's like just talking, it's a good voice. It's not bad.
Okay.
So fine.
What they said about Chris Pratt doing his own take on Mario but still being Mario, they weren't lying. Turns
out they actually knew what to do.
Okay. It's crazy.
It might be annoying listening to a Mario voice for 90 minutes if he actually was
that's
like.
That's 100% what I thought. Here's the thing. Everyone gave such a stink about Mario's Chris Pratt voice, and I did too, but I also thought at the same time, like, I don't want to hear wahoo!
No. I'll kill myself.
Like, I don't want him. I was worried that maybe he would sound too generic movie like main, because every movie main character does have to kind of sound like, oh boy, you guys, here we go, we're gonna solve this mystery, you know what I mean? Like they gotta kind of sound like a fucking, I don't know, like just
real quick.
What's up?
Double Rocket says, man, I didn't see the movie yet, Brandon. I didn't think any of that was too spoilery.
No, I don't feel
I was just talking about voices mainly. Like
you were also talking about the very beginning of the movie.
But the commercial that it starts with is like
the very beginning
one of the first trailers they dropped.
Oh, okay.
Like identically. So if you've seen trailers, I didn't spoil anything.
You're good. You're good.
I'm
dude, you said Mario's in it, says Crazy Kyle.
Fuck. Yeah, but it's fun. If you know Mario, it's fun. It's like very referential, and I'm sure they're gonna make more stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. The movie is such a safe bet because nobody doesn't know Mario. Like you can take somebody who like still calls an Xbox a Nintendo, and then you can ask them like questions about Mario.
Who's this character?
And they'll still say like, "Oh, that's Princess Peach."
You can show them Mario. A picture of like Jesus and be like, "Who's this?" And they're like, And they're like, "Who's this?" And they show Mario, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's Mario."
Yeah, you go to like Indonesia or someplace like that where their like culture is just entirely different from like our pop culture, and like they don't like you ask them like, "Hey, who's Brad Pitt?" And they're just like, "I don't fucking care." And then you ask them like, "Hey, who's this guy?" And they're like, "Oh, that's Mario." And it's like, okay,
it's Mario from Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, but there's a lot of great references. The voices are pretty good. The only one I honestly wasn't that happy with, which is surprising because I love him. It was
Luigi?
Cranky Kong, which was done by
interesting.
What's his name from Portlandia?
Oh, Fred Armisen?
Yeah. He does
Cranky Kong is Fred Armisen?
Yeah. That was my least favorite voice.
That makes no sense.
I mean, who are you gonna pick?
Oh wait, I'm sorry, Cranky Kong. I'm thinking of Funky Kong for some reason. Cranky Kong.
No, Funky Kong's not in the movie, which he should be. But he
should be. Yeah. Did they get the big titted Kong in it? The Kong with the bobos?
No Dixie Kong. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, and I'll be right back to talk about more which Kong character we're most turned on by.
Okay, yeah. Well, obviously it's Funky Kong. I mean, I gotta know what's going on underneath that bandana. It's also selling me guns and stuff in Donkey Kong 64. That shit's kind of crazy. Maybe a little bit offensive. I don't know. But the point is that Funky Kong definitely is the coolest character in the Mario universe. And Diddy Kong, unfortunately, Diddy Kong was arrested for that NFT project. So Diddy Kong couldn't be in the movie, unfortunately, folks. I've heard that Diddy Kong is not in the Mario Brothers movie because of that NFT project that he did. He's seeing jail time for that. Kind of rug pulled people for a couple mil. I was looking at a dime. I was looking at doing a dime behind bars. So I'm just going to give folks a head up about Diddy Kong. I'm sorry that I have to be the one to break the Diddy Kong news. Generally, we try to keep the content pretty light on this show, but Diddy Kong is unfortunately going to jail for a very, very long time. And we all just pray for him every day. As for the Mario movie, I haven't seen it myself, but if I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it 70% out of like 100. That's probably what I would rate it. Again, I haven't seen it, but I will form an opinion on it right now, and 70 is about what I'm feeling. It just kind of felt like a collection of TikToks that are about Mario, kind of strung together into a cohesive sort of plot, almost a little bit. It's sort of like how I've been cutting together the shorts of all of our movies and then like just putting them in little segments on YouTube. It's like
I also give Mario a 7 out of 10, and I've seen it.
Okay.
Also, Diddy Kong is in it.
Shit.
He has a little cameo.
Alrighty. Who voices him?
He doesn't. I don't think he has a voice.
Oh, okay.
At one point, somebody says something like, Diddy Kong! And they point, and then you see him like
jerking off. He's like jerking off.
Yeah, he's whacking off. His penis is a banana.
Yeah. Oh my. So yeah.
Look, I didn't write the movie.
We didn't make them. We didn't make that happen. Do you have anything else you want to say about the Mario movie?
If you like Mario, you'll like the movie. It's fun. Okay. But it's made. So sometimes you watch a Pixar movie or like an Iron Giant or something where you're like, this is made for all audiences. Like actually, like an adult man could probably enjoy this more than a child. Honestly,
right?
Mario movie is made for a child, but it's still fun if you like Mario. It's fine.
It's made for kids, but it's not annoying enough to kill an adult.
You could enjoy it. I enjoyed it, but there's not a lot there for us as adults.
Okay.
It's just like nostalgia. It's like fan service. It's like,
Right.
hey, you know this music, you know these characters. That's fun. The voice acting's good. Jack Black kills it.
Yeah, I've heard he's like the standout.
He's amazing.
Performance.
They give him a chance to sing, which they do in every film he's ever been in, ever. You know,
that's all I'd want.
And also, like, the plot was very like simple in a fun way. I don't know if that's spoilery to tell what the whole like.
Damn it! Now I know there's a plot.
Hey, if there's only 4 people watching right now, if you don't want to hear this, mute it. I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, I should also ask you, do you want to hear it? I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll just tell you like what Bowser's motivation is.
Oh, I'm assuming he wants to just turn Luigi into his fuck puppet and just ream him.
You know.
Just completely pulverize that anus.
Basically, he's just like, I have a crush on Peach, and then he hears that there's another human in the world because she's like the only human in the Mushroom Kingdom, and he's like, what? He's like, is she attracted to him? And they're like, I don't know. And he's just like, let's get him. And like he's just like basically threatened by this person that might take Peach might like.
That's pretty I mean that's pretty
He has a crush on
not
her.
far off from a standard Mario plot. I mean he's always kidnapping Peach.
It's never been said. He's always kidnapping her, but it's never been said like he's like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it has. In Mario Sunshine
Odyssey,
in Mario Odyssey he tries to marry her, but in Mario Sunshine he has like a child and he lies to the kid and says that Peach is the kid's real mom.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's not cool. It's like a real fucked up thing to do to your son. And that's why Bowser's son is then trying to like help him kidnap Peach because he's like, I'm trying to save my mom.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's like in love with Peach, and so he's just like. Then when he finally gets a chance with her, she's like, "What? No, leave me alone."
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was a fun like motivation. It's like very like simple, but in a good way.
It feels like an appropriate motivation for Bowser for this movie. It'd be weird if it would make sense if he's also like trying to take over, you know, like Mushroom Kingdom. But I don't know, having your kids movie start out with like an attempted fascist takeover is probably not like the most fun way to sort of bring your kids into the universe.
I don't know. So I say if you like Mario, see the movie, you'll enjoy it. Illumination made it, which is kind of like meh. They're the ones that made all the like Minion stuff. I like the original like.
Didn't they make the Lego movie too?
Did they?
I don't know.
Maybe. If that's the case, then I take it back because I like Lego Movie. But
let's take a look see real quick.
But like when Mario and Luigi are like in the world, like the real world, like all the other characters that aren't like their family look just like basic Illumination characters. Just like they're like 3 feet taller and they just have like that basic like 3D animation face.
Right, of course.
They're like, there's a scene where they like have a run-in with the dog, and the dog just looks like
Illumination dog.
Very basic dog from like an animation movie. I don't know how to say it more than that, but once they get into the like Mario world, everything looks great.
Oh man, I'm looking through their oeuvre, and yeah, all right. they didn't do the Lego movie like I thought.
Yeah, they haven't really done.
They've done the Despicable Me's, which I mean I think the first Despicable Me is fine. Like
first one's great.
Yeah,
I think the first one's actually really.
It's a cute movie.
I think it's bad. I think if I say it's just fine, that's like not fair. I think it deserves more than that. But
okay, that's you heard it here first, folks. Brandon thinks that Despicable Me is better than fine. He thinks it's a.
I think the first one's quality.
I think it's a cute movie. I think it's a very cute movie that you can enjoy. It's got like a nice story. That's. I mean.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like all the Minion shit is so annoying.
Yeah.
That, like, I think it's ruined the legacy.
It's
like how Shrek has become a meme, but the first one's like
Still
actually a
great
good movie.
Yeah. I think
Kind of what I'm saying. But I think Shrek's way better than Despicable Me. Let me
Yeah.
get that on the record.
That's fair. I think Despicable Me would be a better movie if it was just like a one-off standalone film, because then it's like this
Totally.
cute. Then it's just like a cute movie about this evil genius who ends up adopting a bunch of orphans and learning how to love, and that's a great.
Every sequel and spinoff
great elevator
after the
pitch.
first is shit.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
And like as an elevator pitch, like if you summarize Despicable Me like to its core storyline, that's a great concept, and to like, you know, see it made into a fun 90-minute movie that works, that's great. That's excellent. And every movie that came out as part of the series after that just sort of detracted from like I think the movies almost work better the less lore you have, because then like the concept still remains kind of more sweet and kind of, I don't know, wholesome and sort of I don't know.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like once you start building out this universe you've made behind this really solid elevator pitch, it stops working as a story quite as much.
Also, when you lean into the minions, which are like fine as a background element, but when you make them the main character, it's like if you gave a movie to the Oompa Loompas. It's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's dumb as shit.
Dog, if the fucking Willy Wonka movie had come out and been successful, like today, they would have made Willy Wonka, like Oompa Loompa. They're probably making Oompa Loompa spin-offs, honestly.
And did anybody see that Minion movie? Because there's like, I remember a trailer where they were like showing all the like dictators of the history, like having minions, and I'm like, is this really what we want to do? And are we also going to skip over Hitler? What are we doing?
They did skip over Hitler.
Good move.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
But if you're making a movie, if you're making a cartoon movie for kids where people are questioning, I wonder if they're going to include Hitler, then you should probably rethink everything you're doing.
That's like the Bechdel test, but like different. It's like, are people gonna question if you bring up Hitler? Maybe you shouldn't make this movie.
If people are asking if Hitler's going to be in this film, then you should really rethink it.
Yeah.
Boy,
oh boy.
Okay, so for this drawing, I feel like I should make those bricks come out one more piece. It just feels weird that Goomba's floating. Yeah,
if you wanna. I mean, it technically works within Mario physics, but if you feel like it makes for a weird picture, yeah.
I understand Mario physics, but not everyone does.
That's so true. People would be throwing a shit fit. Honestly, we'd probably get the most views on our channel that hosts these videos of all time, because people would like be coming into the comments and be like, your fucking preview picture, he's floating. I don't fucking float the fuck. I'm so mad.
Let's get those hate clicks.
Yeah. That's what the social media algorithms love, are those hate clicks. They want people mad and rioting.
Luigi's so small. Your guy must have ate a mushroom.
I thought we were doing a different angle than we ended up doing.
So did I. I mean, we were until. I guess I can make like a big block in the foreground.
No, it's fine. Just let people.
We got things to do. We can't be spending all day on this.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope you color these blacks. Oh. Whoop. 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 Whoop.
Dude, two. Whoop.
Whoop. Brandon, you've been streaming yourself doing some traditional arting works.
I have. I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow as well.
My gosh. How's that been for you?
It's been very fun. I always loved it. It's just like, you know, it's, materials are more expensive and it's like more work and stuff like that, and you can't undo. So it's very easy to, like, as an artist, I think, like, kind of fall out of it and not do it. But I think it's where we all mostly, maybe not anymore, like maybe artists today start digitally, but I think for most of us, we all started with that kind of shit. So it's kind of fun going back and like
Nice.
doing some traditional stuff, and I've been enjoying it, and it's been fun hanging out with chat and like taking recommendations and being forced to like stick with your decisions and stuff like that. You can't undo. But yeah, it's been good. I'll probably do it again tomorrow around 11 or noon. If anybody wants to join in, should draw along with me if you want. I would love that. But yeah, I'm just using ink and pencils and colored pencils and stuff like that, and it's fun.
Nice. And it's I've been popping in when I can, and it's a good time. Just hanging out, doing a little drawing.
If you ever want to join one of these days, I don't know what materials you still have, but or if you have any.
That's a great question.
But if you feel like it, feel free to join. Otherwise, I'll keep it going.
Keep it going. Keep it going. But no, it's been a fun time, and I think it's cool to see you do that stuff. And I mean, any of those drawings that you make, you can sell and you know, get some little bit of extra cash.
I have them. Maybe once
yours.
we get a little bit more of a following, I'll have an easier way to sell them.
Yeah, we can do like a little.
I'm sure
auction.
I could do it now, but
we could do like a little auction
until
on
then.
stream or something like that.
Exactly. Or on Instagram. I've seen a lot of artists auction stuff on Instagram. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll do it that way. But for now, just drawing stuff and having fun and hanging out with chat. It's been good.
Nice.
It's a good.
It's so good. How do you feel about this drawing?
So long, gay Bowser.
So long, Gay Bowser. Do they say that?
Not in the new one.
Oh.
I wish they did.
Did they say you're Mr. Gay or?
No, I don't think they say the word gay at all in the whole script.
That's a shame.
I know. It's like, what a ripoff.
I know.
Is he
Actually,
Mario?
I almost gave Mario blue socks.
He might have blue socks. We don't know.
Yeah, he might be a fan of the Blue Sox, the baseball team.
Actually, now that you color him, he definitely has white socks.
For sure. All right, now I think we're good.
That's a drawing. Luigi is
Straight up
ice cold
murking.
killer.
Yeah. It's murking that Goomba. Feels kind of rude. Kind of mean of him to do that.
Yeah, he didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Should we take a break?
I mean, we got like 20 minutes, I want to say, left in the show anyways. What do you think?
I'm down to keep going.
Why don't we just ride things out till the end?
All right.
All right.
Clear all the stuff.
If we were closer to 9 o'clock, maybe I'd be like, let's take a break. But we're like,
Yeah. We have troubles with that first drawing going way too long.
yeah. Well, normally we've been pretty decent at getting. I feel like it's once every 5 episodes the title card takes us forever.
Yeah. But still, like, even an hour feels like a little long for, like, it's not like the DrawBomb character is like The Simpsons. Like, no one is excited to see.
Yeah. I would say that this program
We don't
is
have
not
branding yet.
We don't have branding, and I would say that this program isn't the easiest for me to draw in. I would say, like, I feel like some other programs I kind of have an easier time getting shit done quick.
That reminds me, we were talking about doing a MS Paint stream, which I would love to do.
That would be
We
fun.
should do that. Like, we should remodel the like chat so it's all like in little like Windows 95 windows and stuff. I feel like we could do that pretty easily.
Probably, yeah. Because they were just like.
I'll do all the
anyways.
work so that you don't have to do it.
Okay.
But that'd be fun.
It would be fun. I'd be down. That'd be cool. Do like a pixel art stream. Brandon.
Have you seen any movies besides Mario?
Yeah. I feel like I saw some recently.
Watch anything with the fam?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. I feel like any movies I've seen, I've watched with the fam. I saw Enola Holmes. Like that.
Oh, is that the 11?
Sherlock. Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown as Sherlock Holmes' sister.
Oh, it's a sister. I thought it was like his like niece or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the sister. I don't remember exactly if it was like the sister or the niece. I think it was their sister though.
Oh, was it?
It was fine. It was super long. I feel like it could have cut down. I can think of 2 sequences it could have trimmed, and the movie would have been just a little bit more time, just like paced better.
Yeah.
And but otherwise it was fine. It was a nice little mystery. You know, if you enjoy watching like a Sherlock Holmes mystery, you kind of got to watch Millie Bobby Brown's character solve the mystery, and then you got to watch Sherlock Holmes kind of solve the mystery at the same time, and you got to like kind of see.
He's in the show as well.
He's in it, but he's not in it nearly as much as I thought that he might be in it. It is sort of a very sisters are doing it for themselves kind of movie, which is fine. I think that's totally cool.
Yeah.
that they make those. I think that's a positive message that is totally.
It also feels like that's like the whole point of the show. So like I would
Yeah,
expect
absolutely.
that, you know?
Yeah. So like there's like a scene where she's like in a fight for her life or whatever, and I thought like, oh, this would probably be the point where Sherlock Holmes will show up, save her, and then like, you know, because it's like a 14-year-old girl fighting like a 30-year-old man. It's like, you're gonna need some help, girl. But you know, she smarts her way out of it. She figures out how to sort of get herself out of that situation, and she does it.
Turns out if you stab him in the neck,
yeah,
you're free.
Turns out the answer was to shoot him. But no, but you know, she doesn't. She's at any point where she's like in danger, she is either saving somebody else or she saves herself. And you know, she solves the mystery for herself. You know, it's all about her doing it for herself, and like it's the point. And I think that's great. I think that's a very cool message to have. You know. Yeah. But just felt like the movie was fucking, and like it was a fun mystery, and it was an interesting mystery, and it was kind of had like all these. It was like a very historical sort of like thing that they were doing. I mean, but yeah,
Sherlock Holmes is not a real person.
No, but they were setting it within like a specific time period in history. That like they were setting it like the central mystery.
Sherlock Holmes is not a real man.
Wait, you're kidding me? Well, shit.
Guy's such an idiot, Chad.
Thank God we have James Bond protecting us. Thank God James Bond is saving this country day after day.
Thank God.
Hold on, I'm trying to get some reference images.
Wait, you have to live in England to be saved by James Bond.
Yeah. Well,
we only have Captain America.
Thank God for Spider-Man.
Yeah. Here's a little dirt in your eye. Oh, you're gonna do the It's Monday.
Yeah.
I want to see this combination. Okay, so they have similar eyes. Like they do and they don't. The eyelids.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give
part of the circle.
I think I'm gonna try and make Garfield in the style of Kathy the most, because I think Garfield is so recognizable more than Kathy is.
I like what you're doing. Keep it up.
But yeah, it's a cute movie. It's fun. It's a nice little mystery. Like I love a good mystery to solve. So
it's a movie. I thought it was like a show or something.
No, it's like a movie, and they have a sequel.
Cool. Speaking of shows, I haven't watched the new season premiere yet, but Barry's back, and I love Barry.
Oh, nice.
Good show. If you haven't watched any of it, you should. It's what's his name?
It's Bill Hader. I have been. I've seen like clips. I've been meaning to watch it. It's just you know, there's always so many things to watch.
Watch it with the fam. You guys would all love it. It's like a mix of comedy and also like drama.
Yeah, we've got a couple other shows.
So?
Well, it's one of those shows I'd actually like to watch by myself. There's just some shows that I'm like, you know, I want to be able to watch it on my own pace.
Sure, I get it.
But
I'm excited to watch that. Yeah. But I haven't watched it yet. And now that Morgan, my roommate / wife, is not here, I can't watch it. That would be worse than cheating. If I brought a woman home, that'd be less offensive than if I start watching Barry without her. But yeah, so that's a good show. And then the one other thing I want to talk about, unless you have anything before that.
Not off the top of my head.
I saw the Dungeons and Dragons movie yesterday.
Oh yes.
It was delightful. It was
I've
great.
been meaning to watch
it felt
that.
very much like early Marvel before they were like focused on just like how many celebrities they can name and characters they can get in it. Like, felt just like a fun, like, here's a group of characters like getting into some, trying to solve some problems. But the one thing I really liked about it is it felt like, and maybe this is every movie and I was just picking up on it because it had the Dungeons and Dragons title, but I really think like they focused really hard on the feel of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, where like you come up with you're in a weird situation and you come up with a plan on how to solve it and it fails, and then you come up with a backup plan and it fails, and you come up with a
no, I've heard
plan C,
I've heard people
and it
say
succeeds,
similar
and you're
things
like,
about the movie.
okay, we did it. And then also like sometimes they solve problems with like just really like you wouldn't expect it, like
Yeah.
throw a potato at his head and then it works, like that kind of thing. It felt like it really captured the Dungeons and Dragons feel.
I've watched a few reviews and people do say it really captures, like the reviews have actually been very positive for the movie. And
yeah, that's what made us see it, is it was like a 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like,
nice.
I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes all the time, but if it's ever like 85 or above, it's usually like everyone will like this to some capacity.
Yeah. I gotta get a picture of Kathy saying "ack."
But it was fun. It was I don't know. It was a good movie. The effects were fun. The action was fun. It felt very much like I feel in my head when I'm playing D&D. Like
nice.
That cool feeling where you're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, we were all badasses just now. But I can't explain this to anybody who will think I'm a nerd. But that's what a lot of the like action scenes felt like. It was cool.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard really good things, and I definitely want to see it. It's just it's hard for me to get to a theater because
sure.
Yeah, it just is.
Mario I saw in certain ways, and then D&D we saw in the theater.
Nice.
Before the D&D movie started, there was like this little promo that was like, thank you, you're the real hero for being in the theater. And Morgan was like, this movie is gonna suck, just from that like cheesy ass opening. And I'm like, no, this hold out. And then the movie was good, but it was, yeah, they're like, you're the real hero for showing up to the theater. And we're like,
did the movie say that, or did the theater have like a little thing beforehand for that?
All the actors were like sitting in chairs, just
really
like, being forced to read these lines like hostages, like who are their families were being like held in like a torture chamber.
I kind of want to see the movie now for that.
Hugh Grant was the last one who was like, yeah, so thanks for being at the movie. He was awesome in the film, but like he seemed the most like not down to do that.
He was like, I want theaters to fucking die.
Yeah. I mean, I love Hugh Grant's awesome. I haven't seen him in like since like the 2000s, but he was like he was in Glass Onion as
yeah, I haven't seen him since he was playing his boyfriend in Glass Onion.
But that was like almost like cameo level. And this he had a full
it was a cameo.
like character, and he was great. He was awesome. He went full Hugh Grant.
Nice.
And it was great.
I've had people like run up to me in a restaurant before and be like, you look just like Hugh Grant, and they showed me a picture, and I'm just like, hey, I mean, sure.
So you accepted it. You're like, yes, I do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to tell somebody who's looking at me like, no, I don't.
Well, I've gotten that, not about Hugh Grant, but about certain, I don't even know who. People I usually don't know. And they're like, you look like this person. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't really see it, but if you say so.
I've had multiple people, like I've had a non-zero, but like also more than 4 number of people tell me like I look like Hugh Grant. and then like they always show me the exact same picture. So and it's like a picture of him looking down and laughing. So I think I just have the same laughing face if I'm like angling my head down.
I need to find this picture.
But I've also been told by I had this, like, when I was working at the rafting company, that's actually where I heard the most people compare me to people, because we would often take people who were not from the country and who were from like countries that just didn't interact with like white people a lot. So like I'd be like on the rafting trip, like helping them get out of danger and shit. No, that's not the one. I'll post
the
picture.
one. I see it.
That's
see it,
me.
Guys, we found it. This is Ian, and I see it.
I can show you the exact picture people have pointed to me.
I already showed him. It's fine. It's right here. This is Ian's face.
But I do see it to an extent though. But
because there's your face right there. Laughing, having a good time. There's you laughing.
That's me. I had this like group of people who were from India, I want to say, tell me I looked like Adam Scott. They showed me like a picture on their phones of Adam Scott from Step Brothers.
That's just racism. That's a person from India who thinks all white people look the same.
I'm okay with that. I mean, like, I can see them thinking I can see like how they thought I looked like Adam Scott.
It's nice being on the opposite side of racism for once, right?
It sure
feels good.
I don't know if I would say that. I think I'm not gonna say that sentence or agree with it.
Feels good to be on the opposite.
I don't know if I agree.
Gosh, it just feels good to be racismed against for once.
But then I had, speaking of racism, and this is not me being racist, but one time I was on a rafting trip and I was like,
he's gonna talk about races.
No, I was in the water and there was like this group passing by on their rafts, and there was this woman who I think she was from China, because we do have a lot of like Chinese companies bringing like employees in for like group team building exercises and stuff like that. And she's floating by, and this is how she said, "Oh my gosh, you're so handsome, you look like Brad Pitt." I'm not gonna do a voice for her, but she sounded she like said it in a very funny way, but she was like, she called me Brad Pitt, and I was like, all right. I can't tell if Brandon's being very quiet or if his internet has given out. No, his internet has just given out. Okay. Wow, this is like the exact same time this happened last stream too. His internet died like right before the end also. But yeah, she told me I looked like Brad Pitt, and I could have done an impersonation of her, but it would have just come across as racist, so I'm not gonna. But the way she said it, it sticks in my head. But it was cute, and I hold that very dear to my heart, that somebody said I looked like Brad Pitt, even though I completely disagree. There, he's texting me again. You stopped laughing at my hilarious jokes and I knew, is what he said. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Oop, there he goes. Now I'm in Brandon's window. Hey, folks. I'm actually drawing this hand better than they draw the hands in Kathy. They draw the hands like weird things. Like, I don't even know. It's like this weird, like, mitt looking thing. Oh no, she's always holding her hands up when she goes act. She's always like going... This is that looks like an awful misshapen hand. Okay, but that's kind of what they draw. I don't know. It's hard. I have a hard time copying styles. That's why I'm the prime candidate to work in the animation industry.
Hello, hello.
Hey, welcome.
Testing.
We hear you. I hear you.
Test.
I hear you.
Oh no, he doesn't hear me.
I hear you.
Let's go.
It's going. Should we start wrapping up the show?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm just. What was that?
I'm hearing myself.
Uh oh. You must be listening. You sound a little different. I think you're like talking through a different audio device, maybe.
That's a problem.
I'm kind of finished drawing my Garfield Kathy. It doesn't look great.
I'm sure it looks beautiful. You're an artist with a, you know, like a diploma to back it up.
I was expecting you to like be saying like, you know, you're an artist. You know what you're. Oh my god!
Ew! Ack! Ack!
Brandon.
This drawing is worse than a Monday.
You got anything you want to plug?
Tune in tomorrow. I'll be drawing some stuff live. Ian, if you want to join, you should, but you don't have to.
I'll see what I can do.
I'm being tortured by the voice repeating thing.
You're getting the Japanese anti-talking gun shot at you?
Yes, I'm working on it.
I see my face. Oh, whoa. Hey.
I'm back. But
You're back.
I hear myself. Why do I hear myself?
Just take your headphones off for a little bit.
Nah, that won't work.
I know.
Then I won't hear you. Ooh.
But yeah, guys, check out Brandon tomorrow. He's gonna be streaming probably around like what time would you say? Like noon?
11 or noon.
Yeah, and then he's gonna be drawing in actual like pen and paper, like a weirdo,
Yeah,
like
dude.
before the computer times.
I'm trying to combat AI art.
Yeah,
Do
and
my own thing.
he's doing the opposite of AI art, as opposite as you can get from AI art.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no computers in this brain.
That's
I've
right.
tried. They won't do it.
Using the most advanced brain of them all. A webcam.
Hey guys, can you put a robot in my brain? And they say no.
Yep. And they said you made us sign a thing saying we would never. But he's gonna be streaming tomorrow. Make sure you check out him drawing pictures. He's gonna be having an AI tell him what to draw, though. There will be AI involved in that aspect.
Don't.
He's gonna have a
I will
computer
come up
tell
with
him what
everything.
to draw. He's gonna be doing that tomorrow, so come check him out. Should be a lot of fun. It's always a good time. It's always a sweet, chill hang sesh.
Yeah. Totally a sweet, chill hang. I can't talk.
A sweet, chill hang swosh. Wanna try it again?
A sweet, chill hang sesh.
I think you got it. Yeah.
It's the best I can do. I'm hearing my own voice.
He's trying his best, folks. He's getting the anti-talking gun shot at him. But aside from that, do you have anything else you want to plug? You can say no if you want, or yes.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, folks. As for me, I don't think I have anything to plug either. So, we'll get around to releasing Critter Cam 4 sometime soonish. Probably. But also stay tuned. Sometime soon we're gonna be doing DrawBomb
Who's next? The
tonight.
snake?
Snake, yes. Snake and the Tiger. But we're also gonna be doing. We're working on assets for DrawBomb tonight. We're hoping to get that done. I'm still aiming to get
Maybe
that
by
ready to.
next week we'll have some stuff.
Yeah, I'm aiming to have us able to shoot footage by the 1st of May. I want to have enough like assets to be able to at least shoot the sketches. If not, like, you know, we maybe we can't get like all the main stuff, but like having enough footage to like, or having enough for the ability to shoot some of the sketches, maybe. I don't know. And
Totally.
that's me just throwing ideas out there. But you know, I'd like to get this, and also eventually we're gonna be streaming ourselves doing some special wrestling streams, which I'm very excited for. We've been working pretty hard on those. Those are gonna be fun.
Yeah.
The DrawBomb Wrestling DrawBomb Sponsored Violence, is that what we ended up naming our
We have to
federation?
figure out what like the 3-letter like, name is.
So we're still gonna have to figure that out. I named my one thing Really Cool Wrestling, which RCW kind of sounds like a nice little.
That does sound cool.
Yeah. But we're gonna be doing some wrestling streams where we commentate on wrestling matches like they're actual wrestling, with a bunch of ridiculous characters and like a whole federation that like storylines that we're building. It's gonna be a whole thing.
You had mentioned not actually fighting, but I think it'd be fun to actually just fight each other.
Yeah. Well, I figured like we're making like versions of ourselves for the game, so I thought it'd be cool if like when our character is drafted into like a match or something like that, we play as that character. But because like also, you know, we're playing, we maybe have a bit more skill than the computer players, we would maybe predetermine those matches. Who knows? But I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be a fun concept to have us like play as our.
We'll figure it out. It'll be a good time.
Because then like we would like the person who's playing wouldn't be announcing, and then we'd be announcing like, oh, there's Brandon, he's our good friend. Oh, what's Brandon doing? I can't even. Oh my God! You know, just kind of.
I have to learn more about wrestling so I can like be like.
I recommend playing the wrestling game. I was setting up the move set for me as a character, and I learned some of the like names, like the Hurricane Rana and things like that. Like.
Yeah, that's what I gotta do is learn the names.
And playing the game definitely gave me insight into like actual wrestler names, but since we're making our own league, that knowledge isn't so applicable. So. But when we do WrestleMania next year, I'm actually gonna know fucking names.
There you go. Good for you.
So yeah, keep an eye out for.
There you go.
I was just gonna say, keep an eye out for Brandon's stream tomorrow. Keep an eye out for future wrestling streams. Keep an eye out for new Critter Cam coming out, and keep an eye out for DrawBomb tonight. We got 4 major things that we're working on coming your way. When I say 4 major things, it's actually kind of 3 major things, because you've started the streams already, and they're like already out there. Anyways,
it's major.
It's major. It's huge. It's the biggest thing we got.
We're in alpha. We're actually doing it now.
That's right. Now we're in beta.
I've always been a beta.
I was about to say no. We're actually in Sigma, dude. On that Sigma male grind set, bro.
Exactly, bro.
Sakura, bro. Jastrombowski says another burp to finish. I guess I burped into the microphone. I am a disgusting piece of shit, apparently, and I just don't even realize it. I'm such a gross motherfucker. I'm so sorry, folks. We will end the stream.
You are like a living burp.
We will end the stream before I subject you to any more of my heinous mouth deliverables.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.